few words on diversity. Everywhere you look, you hear the buzzword diversity nowadays. But why does it matter? And who does it matter to? Well, I'll speak from the point of view of a black man who has studied and worked in the classical music field. I had the great fortune to have been born in Jamaica and to have lived there for some time before emigrating to Canada. As a boy growing up in the Caribbean, the people all around me looked like me. People like my grandparents owned the land. The teachers looked like me, as did the principals, the policemen, the judges, the nurses, the doctors, all the way up to the Prime Minister. The first musicians and singers that I ever saw looked like me too. In fact, not all Jamaicans looked like me, but there didn't seem to be any restrictions on participation based on the way one looked. So as a child born into that world, there was never an idea that I or others couldn't aspire to be anything that we wanted to be, or to do anything that we dreamed of doing in that society. The first time I encountered that idea was here in Canada. The message was relayed in many ways. It was told as jokes, as insults, or as direct put-downs. The message was also relayed as slights or as doors closed in your face, either literally or when your more qualified parents were passed over for higher paying jobs, and when that job was instead handed to less qualified or more junior colleagues from the majority group. The message was also visual. When you looked into a newspaper or a magazine, when you watched a television show and there was no reflection of your existence, or if there was, it was a caricature, a parody, or complete disinformation. So how do the victims of this social dynamic feel? It can lead to feelings of anger, stigmatization, frustration, or helplessness. Exclusion is a form of violence. Maybe we can even call it a form of tyranny. It removes individuals from society, stigmatizes them, and issues constant and brutal reminders that they are allowed to watch, but not to play, or if they are allowed to play, their play is restricted to certain activities only. It's inconsistent with the idea of a free and fair society where everyone has the opportunity for self-expression, development, growth, and participation. Furthermore, there's evidence that diversity is a good thing. Think about diversity in nature. Think about the benefits of diversity for the survival of any species. Think about the health benefits we get when we eat a varied and diverse diet. Returning to music, think about what diversity has offered us on the concert stage, even in the last century. Can you imagine the concert halls without the music of the French school of Ravel and Debussy? How would our concert halls sound without the music of Bartók or Kodály and their folk song-inspired Hungarian masterpieces? Imagine again what would be left if we didn't have the Russian palette in composers such as Glinka, Rimsky-Korsakov, Mussorgsky, Tchaikovsky, Stravinsky, Prokofiev, and Shostakovich. In the last century, American composers such as Gershwin, Copland, and Bernstein contributed their uniquely American energy and sounds to the repertoire, as did the Brazilian Hector Villa-Lobos, the Argentinian composer Ginastera, Mexico's Chavez and Revueltas, and many others. So following this logic, having a more diverse pool of players, conductors, composers, critics, theorists, teachers, and so on, making room for everyone in the society is not only going to allow individuals to flourish and live a fuller life, it is going to enrich all our efforts and the culture as a whole.